That'll get...
You know how I told you we were reviewing Total Recall?
Yeah.
I lied.
Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we are reviewing Commando from 1985, directed by Mark L. Lester, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, Bill, what did you think of Commando?
I think this movie is probably often mistaken for Predator.
Yes, but I feel like John Matrix is more superhuman than Dutch.
Yes.
Like, in every way.
In fact, I think I've read that part of the reason why Dutch is more human is because of how just straight up invincible he is in this movie.
He does things that, let me say, are cool, but like, it's just kind of like, really? But I love some of the moments of this movie.
This is sort of like, I guess you could say this is when Arnold Schwarzenegger finally established himself. Like, you know, Conan the Barbarian, Terminator was the breakout role, but this is like the first time it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, action hero, quips, one-liners.
Yeah.
The works.
It's like the setup of this movie, it's like Commando. It's a classic movie, I guess. I want to say it's a classic movie. I don't know. I feel like it should be.
Well, you know, in some ways I think it kind of is, at least in terms of like action movie fans, Arnold Schwarzenegger fans, because it's a known movie. Like, I've always known that I lied line for like forever.
Yeah. I will say, like, it has a lot of good one-liners. The, you know, when I said I'd kill you last, I lied. It's way cooler in the movie than any of the parodies that I've seen.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Like, he's holding a guy by, like, 1 foot and just, like, drops him off the mountain.
He's got a pretty funny one-liner right after that. It's like,
what'd you do with Sully?
I let him go.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
You know, it's very much, it's just like an excuse plot, because he's a retired soldier, his daughter's kidnapped, and they're trying to force him to go assassinate a government, like a president from some country that he helped overthrow.
Yeah, he pretty much, like, essentially was, like, special ops, which, like, pretty much meant he did, like, you know, the United States dirty work.
Basically.
You know, he toppled governments and, like, all that stuff.
Yeah, the bad guy president man who, I recognized him right away as like, wait a minute, is that Carla's ex-husband from Cheers with a tan?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I recognized him right away.
The only, like, kind of famous person I know from this movie besides Arnold Schwarzenegger is, like, Bill Duke, who's in Predator.
Yeah, some other stuff.
And then the little girl is one of the main people in Charmed, I think.
It's Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
This is, you know, with some slight reworking and recasting, this is a really messed up prequel to Who's the Boss.
I guess so. It's the prequel to, like, Jingle All the Way.
Or it's the sequel to the movie that hasn't come out yet, Predator. Dutch is now in hiding under a different name, and Bill Duke is playing the twin brother of his other brother who also wants to kill him because revenge. It's like, why'd my brother die? Why is he dead?
Yeah.
But Bill Duke, at the start of the movie, he's with some other guys. He's going around killing some of John Matrix's other team members.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to find him. They say they panicked the general so he could lead them to him.
Yeah, they're sort of flushing him out, you know, killing his unit.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool opening to the movie, honestly, like with the garbage man, and then, like, guys like, oh, am I too late? And they're like, you're just on time, and then they just shoot him.
No, he's like, he said,
I was afraid you'd miss me. Don't worry. You won't.
It's pretty good.
The car dealership one's weird, because why was there a key in the ignition?
Yeah, he just steals the car. He's just driving it around.
Like, that's one of those things, like, maybe you could have had him, like, it's like, what are you doing down there? Hot wiring. What?
Maybe.
I don't know. It's just like one of those. It's such a brief moment of like, wait a minute, but whatever. It's
my logic was just like, did they just keep the keys in the cars parked in the showroom in the 80s? I guess so. Like,
a lot of trust at that car dealership. Yeah. A lot of trust.
It's just like, you want to start the engine inside? Yeah, people do it all the time.
You know, they could have, you know, couple quick changes, you can fix that. It's like, let's take this baby out for a test drive. All right, I got the keys right here. All right, well, you're going to start it right now? Oh, no!
Yeah.
Boom. Simple.
Definitely.
There's a couple quick fixes that you can make a little bit more sense.
I love how ridiculous this movie is.
It gets ridiculous, but I will say I like that there's a ticking clock.
Yeah.
Because they make him go on that plane. He gets on the plane. That Sully guy sees him get on the plane, goes to make the phone call. Say, yeah, he got on the plane. Because this is the era of no cell phones. Yep. Not really. And as soon as he's in the clear on the plane, he just freaking knocks that guy out, snaps his freaking neck, puts a blanket and a pillow on him, tells the steward, don't wake him up, he's dead tired.
Love
and
it.
He jumps out of the plane, puts his timer on his watch. He's like, I got 10 hours. I'm gonna save I have 10 hours to save my daughter.
I love the way he jumps out of the plane too. He like goes into like where the landing gear is. He like jumps down onto the wheel and just like times it exactly right to like land in like the swamp.
He's a professional.
Yeah.
He's a commando.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Like they pretty much make that Sully guy like the most unlikable guy like from the start.
He's such a sleaze. He just starts stalking this random lady just because.
That poor random lady. She's just like there for the rest of the movie. Like
she sure is.
Like I guess John Matrix pretty much like kind of kidnaps her. Like then she's like tells the cops. Then he kills all the cops in the mall, or
he doesn't kill.
He beats them up.
He beats them up. Sully shoots the cops.
That's right.
Security guards actually, but.
I love the bit where like Sully's in the phone booth, I think, and he just picks up the phone booth.
He rips it off the freaking wall.
It's just like, this is insane.
He sees him, he panics. It's like, give me a quarter now. Because again, no cell phones.
Yeah.
So he has to find a phone. Today it's just like, oh, he's 100 feet that way. He's off the plane.
Yeah. Because like the whole thing is just like, John Matrix knows it's just like, oh yeah, they're going to kill my daughter no matter what. So I've got this much time to actually save her.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. But the escalation is so good in this movie. And just like the sheer fact that it's just like, he's just so superhuman. It's kind of ridiculous. Like the main guy who wants to like fight John Matrix, I think his name is Bennett.
Yes.
Which is like, you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger and like Bennett, and it's just like, why do you think you can fight him?
Yeah, that guy is like, he's not in shape.
Yeah.
He's kind of pudgy. He's got like no muscles on his arms. And then you got Schwarzenegger who's like in his prime. He looks like he could bench press like 5 guys.
He can bench press at least a phone booth. And he flips over a car, or at least flips a car back to normal.
I mean, it's a small car, but yeah. It's insane.
I mean, so many like crazy things, like, at the beginning of the movie where like, these guys, they attack his house and
he just like looks, he's like, get down.
Yeah. I think he says something like, I could hear you coming or something.
It's like I could smell them coming or whatever.
Yeah. It always is funny when like Arnold Schwarzenegger is just like, yeah, he's an ex-US like special forces guy. Just like, his family immigrated from like Austria, I guess.
Well, this he mentions East Germany.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that.
Yeah, John Matrix is from East Germany apparently.
Yes, which I guess still existed in 1985.
I guess so.
Yeah, but it's so ridiculous. Like just from the beginning of the movie, with like, all the guys, they kidnap his daughter. They cut the like brakes of his like truck, and he just like pushes it down the mountain.
They cut up the wires, the engine, and the brakes, and he takes it downhill. And they're like, oh shit!
He's just like relentless and unstoppable.
It's one of those things where it's just like, why did you think this was a good idea?
Yeah. One of the only peeves I kind of have with this movie is kind of like the soundtrack. It's very weird and...
It's very 80s in a lot of places, but not in like... I don't know, a lot of it doesn't fit. It's very jazzy.
Yeah, like, it's not even the 80s thing. It's like some of like the instrument choices. It's just like...
Yeah.
There's like a lot of steel drum in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, like, I don't get the
Maybe
steel
if it
drum.
was more synth, it probably would have aged better.
I don't know. Or even like with the steel drum, it's just like... Maybe if this was in like a tropical location, having like a lot of tracks with a steel drum would make sense. But like, it's just like California, And I'm like, what is up with this like Caribbean island music going on like half the time?
He eventually ends up on an island, but they wouldn't call it a tropical
Yeah,
island.
I mean, it's off the coast of California.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's kind of like distracting because it's like sometimes it's like the soundtrack is pretty good, and then like other times it's like, what's up with this like tropical island like sneaking around music? Like the steel drum just gets me every time because it's like such a weird instrument like to hear in this type of movie. But I guess like the composer, I think his name was like James Horner. He was just like trying out something. He's just like, I'm gonna make steel drum happen in action movies.
I know that name. I know I've heard of his other work, so I don't know.
But yeah, just the steel drum. It's like a very like distinctive like sounding instrument, and when you hear it, it's just like, this is weird. I guess it would be even weirder if he was like in a snow location and then you heard like steel drum. You'd be like, what is happening in this movie? But that's like my only peeve with the movie for the most part. Like, I just love how ridiculous it is and all the one-liners and
It's a lot of fun one-liners. This is sort of like where I guess you could say Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of crafted his big screen persona outside of the Terminator.
yeah.
Of just this like wall of quips and bullets.
I mean, he even says, I'll be back at
Yeah.
like one point.
I'll be back, Benny.
I also like that it's sort of like a repeat because he says "fuck you, asshole" in Terminator, but where Bill Duke goes,
Fuck you, asshole.
Fuck you, asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just like it.
It's
Like, no, fuck you.
is good. I also love the scene where like Cindy, I guess, like gets on board with helping him like save his daughter
I mean,
after a while.
Who doesn't want to like let a child die? You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to let a child die.
Yeah. But like the whole thing is like when they go like, it's like, what do we do now? And he's like, shopping. And then like they go into like, I don't even know what it is. It's like a sporting goods store.
It said
but
surplus, so I guess it's like an army surplus store.
yeah. And then there's like the secret like gun room that he somehow
He
finds.
probably shops there.
Yeah.
Probably knows the guy. It's like, I'll pay Louis next week.
I love the part where like, he just buys like a rocket launcher.
Oh, steals a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
I like after he gets arrested and the girl tries to save him and she fires it the wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, it seems like an easy mistake to make with that thing.
I mean, look, she's a civilian who has no idea what she's doing. That actually is the most realistic thing in the movie.
Yeah. The other thing, too, is just like, did Cindy just kill 2 cops?
I hope not.
Like,
Well, no, she shot the back. Do we see them like going like,
I don't know,
I don't remember.
but it's like a rocket launcher, you know?
It's an armored car.
That's true.
The back took the brunt of it. I'm gonna say no.
Only John Matrix has superpowers. And maybe, like, they don't tell you, but maybe he was experimented on or something, but like,
He's a Captain America.
yeah, he is a Captain America.
He's got that super soldier juice in him.
Yeah, he's got something in him. And I gotta say, John Matrix, it's kind of a cool name. It's like kind of like one of those names though, where it's just like, Matrix, huh? Is that German? Yes. Like,
I mean, clearly his father or something changed their last name after immigrating.
yeah,
It was probably John Matrixhauser.
maybe. I was just like thinking, like, yeah, we could trace the Matrix line to the 1500s to like Kaiser Matrix.
Kaiser von Matrix.
Yeah.
Of Dusseldorf.
Yeah. It's funny too because like this movie is like the movie that like I think of every time The Simpsons does like McBain.
I was thinking that when
Yeah.
I was watching it. I'm like, this is what McBain is parodying.
Yeah.
It's parodying Commando.
It definitely is, like in every way.
Because it's like Commando is like the default invincible action hero Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
This is, like I said, this is where it was born.
Exactly. I mean the look, so iconic. He's got all like the like camo,
Yeah, the
like
black-
paint and stuff.
Black vest.
Yeah,
Like 1,000 guns on him at one point.
it is cool.
He's just like holding like the bullet belt and just like, what does he kill, 1,000 guys?
I mean,
It's
like,
insane.
it's kind of like that scene in UHF where like he has like the like dream of being like Rambo and he's just like ridiculously killing everybody, but like in Commando, that's just like how it happens. Like,
I mean, I don't know about the older Rambo movies, but that's kind of how it happens in the 4th Rambo movie.
yeah. But it's cool. Like, he's got the rocket launcher, and I will say they do pay attention to how many rockets they shoot. It's got 4 shots. Cindy shoots 2 of them. Then John shoots the other 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good attention to detail.
Yeah. I was just like, I was waiting for it.
They could have easily just shot a couple more and said, no, he had spares.
Yeah.
He grabbed a couple more rocket rounds.
Yeah. It is just a ridiculous rocket launcher where you're just like, I thought that type of rocket launcher only existed in video games. And who knows? It actually might, but like, just like the 4-barrel.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
It kind of looks like a War Machine, like, shoulder cannon. Like,
oh, man.
just carrying it around on that, like, island.
I don't know if War Machine could stand a chance against John Matrix. He'd probably rip the armor off of him.
Yeah. Just like with his bare hands, just rips out the arc reactor.
Be like, I'll eat you.
You'd have to come up with like a cool one-liner, but like, yeah.
It's a total eclipse of the heart. Replaces the arc reactor with a grenade.
Maybe.
He's like, no.
War Machine, you should have checked your warranty, like, or something stupid. I don't know, but yeah, you know, it's funny because like they kind of set up like Cindy, she's like a pilot in training, so like she kind of gives the hint to like get to the island, and she drives like the old, like, I don't know what kind of plane that is.
Some kind of seaplane.
Yeah, I just think of like it's like the tailspin plane, kind of.
Sure.
Like,
and she does say like it's really old.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be from like 30s or something.
Yeah.
40s.
You know, John Matrix does the classic like hit it and it starts working. It's how you get things to work.
You know, I just kind of skipping to the end real quick because I just think it's kind of refreshing, even though this is an old movie. After like so many years of like movies painfully like teasing sequels that either don't happen because they bomb or whatever, and then this movie ends with the general guy being like, yeah, I could use you for another mission. He's like, no, this was the last one, and it's just like, yeah, until it is, and he's just like, no.
Yeah.
No. And he leaves. And it's like, yeah, no.
It's like I have to live in my super nice house in the middle of the woods.
Sometimes things can just be a thing and that's it.
Yeah.
Even though I think there was a script for a sequel that they just never made.
I don't know if there's actually sequels to this movie, but like I did like, you know, when I was looking up Commando, there is a Commando 2 and 3, but they're like Hindi movies. And I'm like, are they connected to this?
No.
Like,
they're probably like there's like a fake Italian Jaws 5.
Yeah. There's also a 2022 movie called The Commando. But like, I'm like, I guess it's a generic enough title that everybody can use it.
Pretty much, yeah.
But those Hindi movies, I'm like, Commando 2 and 3 , huh?
Unless they made a part 1 in their series.
Yeah, I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
Just
I mean,
notice
there's a lot of rip-off and mockbusters out there, especially internationally.
Yeah.
Though, like I said, I did read that there was a script written, but no sequel ever came.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, I said, you know, it's fine. Arnold didn't need to play every character again. He just needed to, at that point, he could just be Arnold Schwarzenegger and whatever he's called in the movie he's called.
Yeah.
He was just Arnold at that point.
Some ways, too, like, this plot, too, of, like, Action Man has to save his daughter kind of, like, has been used in a lot of other movies, too. Like, I feel like the beginning with, like, you know, his little girl hiding under the bed, I'm like, I feel like that scene happened in Taken as well.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Like, it happened over the phone, but it did.
Yeah.
She was like hiding under the bed, and they pull her under the bed and she screams, and he's like, "I'll find you, I'll kill you."
Yeah.
I like the setup is pretty basic. The excuse set up to launch a crazy action movie. It's been used 1,000 times. The original John Wick is like that.
Yeah.
It's just this guy. They kill his dog. They steal his car. It just turns out he was a super assassin and he killed everybody in his way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It opened up a more interesting world as they went along, but it's just an excuse plot to have a kick-ass action scenes and, in the case of this movie, funny one-liners.
Yeah. You know, like we mentioned, that guy Bennett, you know, he's got his fight with him at the end, and like,
not much of a fight.
It really isn't, and like, it's just like,
how could it be? That guy looks like he could just like, I know like bodybuilders are not really like the strongest guys, but that guy is a schlub.
Yeah, he's not even fat.
Yeah, no.
Like, he's just like a normal guy.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's a fun personality at least.
Yeah.
And I do like how he tries to explain to Carla's ex-husband that he's gonna probably come and just like kill all your men because your men are crap. I could kill all your men if I wanted to.
Yeah, I could kill all your men. Look at me.
You guys suck.
Spending too much time at the bar.
Clearly.
But
I mean, I could buy that if it was just like that would have been a thing to throw in there. Arnold being like, "You're out of shape."
Yeah.
It's like I could still kill you.
yeah, it's like Arnold, goats him on too. Like they end up having like a knife fight at the end, which is kind of cool. But like the way he dies too is kind of great. He takes like the pipe and like
He just rips it off the
yeah,
wall.
and throws it through him, and then like he gets like impaled like with the pipe, and it like hits the boiler, and it goes through the boiler, so there's steam coming out of the pipe.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Yeah, there's so many things. Like he just breaks the chains on like the freaking gate. Like at one point, it's just relentless. He's a super soldier.
Yeah, he is this was the 80s action hero, man, in a nutshell. This is like distilled 80s action hero.
I guess if they did keep going with like Commando movies and they did make like sequels, if they did like a trilogy, it would turn out that his main like army contact guy, the general, he has to fight at the end or something. But
I mean, one of the thing I did read that mentioned like the script did mention that guy somehow randomly turns bad for some reason.
okay.
Like I said, I don't know if that script is out there to be read or not, or if it's just like that's just hearsay and gossip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Commando, it's a good movie. It's
a dumb fun action movie. If you want something, it's breezy, simple. The good guy wins. The bad guys all die horribly and hilariously.
They do.
Especially like really hilariously at times.
A lot of necks getting snapped. A lot of people getting blown up.
Lot
Not
of-
really a lot of like limbs getting cut off, except that one part.
There's a couple, maybe a couple limbs.
Yeah, I can't remember how it happens. I mean, for all I know.
He just cuts the guy's arm off.
Okay, I thought he just like grabbed his arm and
Nah,
just
nah.
like pulled it off.
No.
And then like smacked him in the face with it.
It wouldn't be surprising, but yeah. And there's like one moment of gratuitous nudity.
Yeah, there is in the hotel where
It's just like a couple having sex for whatever reason.
gotta get those check boxes.
Oh yeah, it's the 80s, man. We gotta get boobs in there somehow. It's like
Yeah.
how we got one leading lady. We're not gonna make her take her top off. We just, what if they just fall into a room and there's just like two people doing it? It's like
Yeah.
that works. We could just hire a porn star for that.
There you go. It's got everything.
Boom.
Heartwarming story, nudity, violence. What else can you want in a movie?
I mean, they really lean into the heartwarming. They really want to make sure you want Arnold to save his child. They're like having fun. They're eating ice cream. They're feeding a deer. They're really laying on thick.
They really do. I forgot about the feeding the deer.
It's like a Disney movie.
It's like, look at this man. Look how good he is to his daughter.
Look how happy they are.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to happen to that happiness. Oh no, something disrupting that happiness. So you want him to kill them all.
Don't think about how he was like a terrible murderer for the government and did all the terrible things for them.
He deposed a dictator.
That's true.
That guy was a dictator and he was deposed.
And everything he did was for your freedom.
But yeah, man, Commando.
Yeah.
It's just a fun Schwarzenegger flick.
Yeah.
What more can you say?
It's a great movie. Go watch Commando. And that's that a Touch podcast for this week.
Fuck you, asshole.